Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast.
We're back, all four of us.
The Kingdom.
My name is Ron Pashery, columnist for TJRWrestling.net. Here with my good friend Ek2Fly, Eric Trembicki, Mr. Sexy Punakana 2012, Joe Rottermill, and ALO, Aaron Lloyd.
And yes, I'm back. Not in Mexico getting married. That happened a long time ago, bro. No, I'm not with the Shining Stars. I'm not with his people. And I'm not the low-down Lloyd. I'm Mr. Sexy, Joe effing Rottermill.
I'm just glad somebody dug you up, Joe.
Before we get started, we just want to say right at the top, we had Throwback Madness will be available tomorrow on Thursday. Ek2Fly picked Money in the Bank 2011. So if you want to watch that show, you may want to watch Money in the Bank 2011 first. CM Punk, John Cena, incredible match. Very good show. You should check it out. I guess we'll just jump right into Raw now. There's nothing really to talk about before that. I don't know that this belongs at the top, but I'm going to put it there anyway. Main event at Money in the Bank. Rollins and Roman. Finally, this is going to happen. It was supposed to happen last year. Now we're going to get it. Does this feel like a main event to you?
No.
Does it feel like a main event to you?
No, it feels like it's kind of an undercard.
Does it feel like a main event to you?
Keep forgetting it's part of the card.
we actually saw them this week, though.
We did, which is a step up.
Yeah,
but they threw all three of them kind of in, though. It's kind of.
Well, that part of it I liked.
I liked, but they didn't even focus on the match as much as they focused on all three of them.
But see, that's
and the
why
Shield dissolution.
That's why
I wish they didn't do that.
See, here's why I liked it, and then you can tell me why you didn't. I think a lot of people, a lot of smarks, IWC members have been waiting for that Shield triple threat match. I think a lot of people thought there was a chance they'd get it at WrestleMania, then Seth got hurt.
It was supposed to be.
Yeah. Now, this year, maybe it'll happen. But if they're starting it now with Roman and Rollins are having their feud right now, Dean could win Money in the Bank. He's already teasing, well, maybe, one of you guys is going to win that match. But what if I win Money in the Bank and then I come out and cash in the same night? I like that, one, it separates Dean completely from Roman now. It's not them being buddy-buddy anymore.
No, yeah.
They don't hate each other. They don't dislike each other. But they're not on the same side anymore. I like Seth putting over the Shield, saying all the great times they had, saying, we found Dean by the dumpster in Albuquerque or whatever the heck it was. And then he said, but the best time I had in the ring with you guys was when I hit you in the back with a chair. Because I did this all on my own.
That's a good promo.
Great promo.
Phenomenal.
I thought Roman's part of the promo was good as well.
Roman was good.
Short and sweet. He avoided the booze.
The other reason why I liked what they did with Dean was, for 90% of this promo, I was like, they're making Dean a joke.
Which they do every week.
But he was on top at the end of that segment, which I liked. So, why didn't you like that they did that?
Well, I just wish they didn't do it because, first of all, I like that. If this promo went off and Dean didn't mention that he was in Money in the Bank, I would have been pissed. But I wouldn't even been pissed. I was like, okay, you need to point that out because he's like an afterthought at this point. But the thing is, how cool would it be if Ambrose won Money in the Bank and cashed in during that match? Because like I said, I've been saying this for weeks. I don't think this match is going to get a clean finish. But the thing is, they teased it way too much, so you kind of already know that's not going to happen because that's just too fun and too exciting to happen. So that means they're not going to do that.
Too good.
It's too good to happen. They're not going to do that.
So, okay, I mean, I could get behind that. I just think, one, it was good to introduce Dean as like, yo, I'm right here with you guys. I'm not behind you.
Which is cool. And again, I don't have a problem with that because it's entertaining. It's good TV to watch. But my thing is it takes away from focus from that match, which already feels like it's not a main event.
Yeah, but I like how it keeps Dean in the back of your head.
It does keep Dean in the
back. But
back
the thing is, Dean has to win. But I don't think he's going to win because they teased him way too hard in the situation. I love what Seth did because the crowd was popping for everything. Even got a smile from Roman. And Dean.
I harkened back to Payback last year when they did the triple power bomb during the Fatal 4-Way
Harken,
match.
word of the week calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
I'll find a way to work it into my.
Word of the day, toilet paper.
Oh.
Yeah. So
toilet paper.
They reflected.
Harken
I'll take that
wiping
next
now?
year for my birthday.
So they reflect back to the Shield stuff. They were having a good time enjoying it, and then Seth is so good at getting his heat back. So he got it back so quickly. Saying his favorite moment was when he destroyed the Shield, which was perfect way to get his heat back. And then he kept talking about, "I'll still be champion if my knee didn't cave in from carrying this company on my back."
It's good.
So he's still saying that Roman didn't beat me, and Roman, he had a great line saying, "After I beat you, I'll be the guy because I beat you."
Yeah, not because I have the title, because I beat you.
Well, my favorite part about the whole thing, and I'm sure we're all Seth Rollins fans here, is that they're not crutching him with the authority anymore. Mm-hmm. So they're letting him stand on his own, which is awesome.
Right. How'd you feel about this?
I like the promo overall. Definitely another good point. They even shot fire at him, like saying, "Oh, you do this by yourself?" Or, is Kane going to be there? Is the Authority going to be there? Is J&J Security going to be there?
Yeah.
My only nitpick about this.
Oh, we got a nitpick.
I got a couple nitpicks.
This is me being picky. This is me being very picky. Just a little thing I just hope is just asking for a little more. And somebody on this. Table, 4 of us, they say that WWE currently does good video packages.
They always do.
I just thought they could have did more with those little packages they were doing all before. Why skip over the fact that they were tag champions together? Like, when they were reminiscing all before the Ambrose Asylum.
The promo didn't end. Like, this segment wasn't at the end of the show. They threw it in the middle of the show, which I think this should have ended the show, essentially.
I agree, of course. They should have. It's the WWE Championship. Why is it not ending the show?
And build up to it. They showed their debut.
So, is the Money in the Bank ladder match going to end the show? Because if it's not ending the show, I don't get why the guys are main eventing Raw that are going to be in that match.
Well, I think part of it's because it's the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, so they like to put a little focus on the Money in the Bank, that you win this, you have the opportunity to win the title. Well, I'm not saying I agree with him, but I'm saying I think that's the point of view they're taking.
Another thing I have with this is, Seth pedigreed Roman at the end of Extreme Rules. This is the closest he's been to Seth since. And you do
Why
nothing?
did they just go after him, yeah.
That makes no sense.
And that's always been a
because he's the top dog.
That makes no sense.
The big dog.
The big dog, top dog, any kind of dog, humping a leg, I don't give it.
Did anybody else like that? I believe it was Seth who brought up Batista.
Blue Tista.
And he said Dave should be thanking us because now he's a big movie star and the Blue Tista chant started. Yeah. Did anybody else mark out for that?
I liked it. I almost thought it was funny. They're all chanting for you now. And actually, another credit to Seth. Seth got Batista over more than the whole WWE creative team and Batista put together could get him for the 4 months he was back.
Batista didn't do himself any favors with his ring gear.
I don't
the blue tights and the blue. He wore blue Jordans. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he was all blued and he was all.
I thought it was great, magnificent. Match by cup.
Just made himself an easy target.
I've offered Eric that figure a couple times.
I thought it was a good segment. I obviously liked it more than you, Aaron. But I guess before we move on, who wins, Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns?
Well, I've been saying this since Extreme Rules, and I'm going to stick to it. I don't think this will be a clean finish. I think it'll be some controversial ending, but if I had to pick a winner, I'd say Roman. Because I don't think they'll even have both these guys.
But do you think it'll be more of a non-finish?
Yeah, non-finish, yeah. Controversial finish.
Yeah, because technically you could just end in a DQ and
or double pin. Because like I said, I don't think they want to give Seth a loss in this situation and have Roman lose the title.
Right.
So if I had to pick a winner, I'll say Roman, but I think it'll be a non-finish that's controversial ending.
Joe?
Ow, 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 ow. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you hate saying that?
You're twisting my arm.
Yeah. Oh. Is it because I'm the big Roman Reigns mark on the panel?
You're the big dog of the panel.
How about you?
Roman leaves with the title.
Yeah, Roman leaves with the title. I don't think there's any two ways about it.
But it's not ending here. It's obviously setting up for a triple threat.
How awesome would Ambrose won? This is like.
Is there any guy who would be more fun with cash-ins over the next 6 months?
Kevin Owens.
Then,
I
think Dean would even be more fun trying to cash in.
I don't know, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, if let's say Dean does win Money in the Bank. Let's say this, he cashes in that match, and ultimately Dean's the forgotten person in the Shield. So let's say he cashes in on Roman or Seth, whatever. No matter what, he could turn heel the next night and say, kind of promo talk about how he's the most forgotten person in the Shield. Nobody cared about me, this and that. Because technically, this guy's over as hell. They put him in these prime situations and just have him lose. So they've done nothing with this guy ever. he should have won. He should have beat Lesnar. Didn't beat Lesnar. He had that horrible feud with Jericho. It was not good. So it was one of the worst matches of all time. Not good.
Not good.
Not good. Probably he was probably in the worst match of 2016, and then he also had one of the best matches of 2016.
Let's put it this way: even if Dean wins, I'm kind of a prognosticator here because I'm the only one I call the Broski winning the IC title. So I kind of see things in my mind's eye.
Very true.
Kind of see things in my mind's eye. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's zero chance Dean Ambrose cashes in this pay-per-view. Even if he wins. Even if he wins.
You had something you wanted to say. I'm anxious to hear it.
I hate saying this. Ayla made a really good point.
Which was what?
The next night, Dean could turn heel.
Yeah.
Kind of funny because going back to it, since this is the Raw review, Stephanie even made a comment to Dean how embracing hate is a good thing. So that could be a little bit of foreshadowing for the future. I never really thought it would be happening, but you figure with Dean, leaving on top by Dirty D and his brother.
Yeah, because I have no confidence they'll do anything with Dean Ambrose anymore. Because every time we pick Dean Ambrose on the show, they do nothing with him. It goes opposite. It was like that made no sense, and then he walls and squalor.
Well, Dean Ambrose is a pretty smooth segue. Is in the Money in the Bank match with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Del Rio, and Chris Jericho. Crazy night for those guys on Raw. Zayn went over Cesaro in what I thought was a really fun match.
Really good match.
I hold their matches to a real high standard from their NXT days.
Yeah, Dean in the main event went over Jericho with the Dirty Deeds. Owens and Del Rio had the tag team at the behest of Kane and Stephanie. Well, it was Kane and Shane.
Yeah. Well,
Kane and Shane.
Well, we need Kane's leadership skills on Matt Madness, apparently.
Why is that?
Some of us don't get along on this show.
Kane...
I love everyone on the show.
Kane suggested those guys needed a little, what did he say, like a teamwork?
Team exercise.
Team exercise.
They
needed a little work, yeah.
They needed to beat the Lucha Dragons to retain their spots in the Money in the Bank match, which they did, thanks to Kevin Owens.
How about Owens?
He protested this.
We just had a team exercise.
Yeah,
How about Owens snitching on Del? How about Owens snitching on Del Rio?
Loved it. That was one of my favorite moments of the show. That he just walks up, is Steph around? Especially that he wanted to talk to Steph. Like, I know I'm in with Steph better than you. Okay, I'll just tell you. Yeah, Del Rio, he just showed up. He was late.
Little funny part that they put out, I know you've seen this. Del Rio was on the stage at the opening of the show.
I did not notice that. I did not think about it.
I like that. I didn't think about that either.
But that's a great call by you. Did you see him specifically, or did you go back to see?
I seen a picture of it.
Okay.
Maybe he went out and got a couple burritos. Fajitos.
Well, Paige didn't make him late because she wrestled before him.
I always forget.
Don't you badmouth my girl.
As Paige's boyfriend.
Don't you badmouth my woman.
I won't. I never would. It's bad-mouthing him. There's a little haterade going around.
Couple haters.
Couple haters. So the end of the night, after everything, the main event, Dean against Jericho, and somehow every guy had a part to play in this match.
I hate when they do that.
I liked it.
I like when they do it right.
Which is rare.
My point is, I have gotten to a point where I enjoy silliness. And a lot of people hate it, and I get why. But this was Cesaro as the ring announcer. The fact that everybody just wanted to be out there.
You just like chaos.
Yeah, timekeeper, the ring announcer. I'm like,
timekeeper, ring announcer, two guest commentators. First of all, it's hilarious that Zayn is the commentator, and then Owens is like, I have to be too. If he is, I have to be too. And then they all want to be part of it.
What did Owens say when Cole called his name? Like, don't talk to me, Cole.
Yeah. He said he made fun of Sami Zayn throughout.
And then him and JBL kiss each other's ass out there.
Yeah. He even said to Sami Zayn, why do you get to sit over there on that side with JBL? Loved that. Cesaro introducing Jericho as from Stupid Idiotville.
That was gold.
Which was funny. And then Jericho's face walking down there after he said that was priceless. So I clearly will mark out for anything that's just silly. That's one of the things I love about Jericho. The show ends with him purposely on top of the ladder,
so
sitting
comfortable,
cross-legged, with his legs crossed because they made fun of him for it last week. I thought it was great.
That's kind of epic.
It was epic. But one of the things that we kind of have to touch on, I think, is finally we're seeing the real Stephanie McMahon a little bit. She's not babyface Stephanie so much.
No, they're starting to get at each other a little bit.
So Shane ultimately says, we can still co-run Raw, and I'm going to run SmackDown. I think it's clear. I don't know. Do you think one of the McMahons ultimately? Do you think they split and one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown? Or do you think we get a new GM?
No, I think that's what they're pushing.
I think they'll split because they're still carrying on with that. People trying to get control of SmackDown, so I just think one of them will just be like, okay, "Look, I'll take SmackDown," or Vince will come down.
And it's gonna be like a competition, like head to head. Oh, SmackDown's doing better.
We got a ton of Kane puns last night. If that doesn't set your house on fire, this guy's seeing red. It was actually. I usually hate seeing Kane anymore because it's like
I like this version of Corporate Kane.
I enjoyed it last night.
Corporate Kane.
Again, there was a lot of silliness.
I was just gonna say there was a lot of good silliness, and we'll keep getting to that on Raw. But he had, I think, the highlight, the silliest thing he said all night was when Shane dismissed him as "You're not going to get SmackDown."
I know where you're going.
Well,
this doesn't have to do with me electrocuting your testicles.
Oh man!
Yeah, when did that happen?
2003.
2003. Okay.
I hope none of our sponsors for our show aren't offended by that.
I don't think so.
I like the fact that he had a letter of recommendation from the Undertaker.
Oh, that was so
Undertaker.
He had a resume and a letter of recommendation.
Yeah, that was great.
But the split personality version of Corporate Kane, I love. The original Corporate Kane, I don't like, but the split personality version, I can't get enough of.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So, Money in the Bank. This I think is going to be an insane match.
Yeah.
And these guys have had interactions with each other basically for the last 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Yeah.
So, Eric, who do you think walks away with the briefcase? I know you made a prediction last week.
I'm gonna divide it in half. I'm gonna go with I predict Kevin Owens wins.
Kevin Owens?
The good thing about this match, I really don't know who's gonna win, and there's no better feeling. I mean, I sure as hell don't see Del Rio winning his second one. I would love to see Owens or Ambrose win. Ideally, I want Jericho to win. If I could pick who would win, it would be Jericho.
Joe?
It's a tough one, but I think, like, just looking at it, I have to go Ambrose.
So you think they will set up the three of them?
I think they're setting that up. I don't know when they'll cash that in. I know it won't be that night, but I think ultimately Ambrose.
So, Ambrose, Aaron?
Well, I'm tired of picking Dean Ambrose on the show.
So you won't.
Because they do
I
nothing.
think Kevin Owens.
They do nothing with him.
Say Kevin Owens, but it's just
I'm gonna say Kevin Owens because how many times they pick Dean Ambrose on the show and then he never wins?
Right.
They do nothing with the guy. This is the only time they can actually do something cool. Well, this is another time they do something cool with him. But I have no confidence they'll do something cool.
He's undefeated in asylum matches.
That's not a good thing. Well, how about this?
It's definitely not the best thing.
And I think a heel usually wins Money in the Bank because leading up to them winning the title, they book them horribly. They lose every match leading up to whenever they win.
Yeah, they definitely don't book them correctly.
Yeah, so it's usually a heel. But my question to you guys is, who's a dark horse do you have in this match?
The dark horse I have in this match?
That's what, the underdog to win?
My prediction is still going to be Kevin Owens. I would like to see Ambrose, and I'm leaning a little bit that way more now than I was before. But I'm going to say Kevin Owens. But my dark horse would be Jericho, only because they've been hyping him as the inventor of this match, the guy who created the match.
They do that
He never won one, and this is clearly his best run he's had in years.
My dark horse.
That's what I've been saying. I said
my
that
dark horse is
week.
going to be Zayn. Sami Zayn. I don't see him coming out, and he could easily be pushed to the title.
I think, and no knock at Zayn. I think he's great. I think Miz comes back from whatever Disney movie he's doing. He comes back, and him and Zayn feud for the IC title, and he gets rid of the belt, and Zayn takes it and makes the belt mean something again.
Are you
I don't care what
Jericho,
either you say about him.
Taking Jericho as your dark horse?
Yeah, that's and who I want to win.
So we got 2 Jerichos. We got 1 Zayn. Who do you got?
My dark horse is Sami Zayn.
Wow. So
Boom.
split right down the middle. Rare that happens.
Coffee and cream over here.
Goodness.
To what many people will say is the real main event at Money in the Bank.
This is the main event.
AJ Styles, John Cena. Never seen it. It's a long time in the making. They've really been putting over how this is a dream match, WrestleMania caliber match.
Booty juice.
I thought for the most part, it was a really good promo. I thought there were some iffy spots in Cena's as always. But he really put AJ over. He put over that he actually has won more titles in the last 15 years than
more titles.
Cena
Not
has.
but he didn't say. He said I won this many world titles. He's won more titles.
Yeah, but I like that he's
acknowledging.
He's acknowledging and elevating AJ. Like he's
in
acknowledging how good
in the course
he's
of
been.
one promo, he's doing two different things to hype up the match in a way.
Right. I love that AJ comes out immediately. I'll run circles around you. I'll be saying you can't see me because you can't beat me. He said if I had been around the last 15 years, basically you wouldn't be who you
wouldn't
are.
have 15 titles.
You wouldn't have 15
You wouldn't be
titles.
doing crappy movies. You wouldn't won Royal Rumbles.
Right, because I would have been in your
Wouldn't
way.
have won. Yeah.
The part of this promo that bothered me was, and this is what always bothered me about Cena, is just the corny jokes. Your club isn't full of bullets. Your club is full of bull. It's not funny. It's not creative. It's not interesting. It just, as soon as he said that,
I don't know. I thought that was kind of good.
Cena just breaks every barrier. He doesn't care about anything. He just says anything.
Yeah, I respect it. He'll say anything, but
Nobody else has had the huevos to even acknowledge bullets.
I get that, but your club is not full of bullets. It's full of bull. That's just not a funny joke to me. I literally like.
It's not
you
silly.
think that was my eyes.
If it was silly, you would have liked it.
It's not silly.
That
Yeah.
was serious.
Yeah, I did not like it. No,
That escalated the big match feel to me.
did it?
I liked it.
So I'm
And I'm
alone
not
on
a
this.
Cena mark. Like
I wouldn't say
A1.
you're alone, but I mean, Cena can be corny, and that's Cena's gimmick.
Yeah, arguably my favorite part of this whole segment was when Cena said, basically, you're just throwing at me all the same insults every other indie guy has done before you. And I love that AJ said, I'm not every other indie guy.
Yeah, it's
Yep, that was
AJ
two good parts.
Styles.
the best comeback.
And when this match is over, your time will be up, and my time is now. Loved that. But your overall thoughts on this promo, on the build to this match. I know you were not a big TNA guy as well as I wasn't.
A lot of these guys coming up from that company, and now that they're touching, like I've heard of them, watched very minimal stuff I've seen of them on the internet, never watched anything live, but I've been excited to watch a lot of these guys. AJ, from the moment I seen him at the Rumble, I was interested. I've loved all his matches with Jericho. I'm looking forward to this match. I'm sure it goes on for a couple months. I'm going to give my prediction early, even without you asking. I'm going to go with AJ.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to go with AJ. I'm praying for an odd sweep of if Money in the Bank history proves anything, it's the only time Cena will do a favor, and it'll be a good match. There's been 2 times in the past where indie guys have beat him in big match feeling settings.
Once was like around 2011, maybe.
Could it?
Money in the Bank, 2011, which will be available tomorrow.
Who did he fight in that match?
CM Punk.
Oh,
Phil Brooks.
Phil Brooks.
we should watch that
The guy is yet to
They got it on the network.
Everybody should watch it.
for $9.99.
No,
Oh,
wait a
shit.
minute. And you know what? I think I just caught myself in a lie.
He
I think I
lost
just
Owens.
I
Don't
did.
lie.
No, didn't he beat Owens?
He
And then
beat Owens.
He beat Owens in
and
Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's Elimination Chamber.
I was thinking, Elimination Chamber.
And no one's beat him in the first match.
Just
Yeah.
messed everything up.
You're fine.
AJ's gonna get buried.
Don't let you won't. He'll be all right.
Joe, your thoughts on the build to this match, this promo, and then your
I thought
prediction
the build's
to
been
close
great.
it.
And I know you guys can recall when AJ first came out, my gripe was that...
And not to interrupt you, but I want to make clear, you are somebody who was an avid TNA watcher, so you have a long history with AJ Styles.
Me and Lloyd watched a little more than most.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of AJ Styles. I followed his career for the most part. I didn't watch a lot of the Japan stuff. I did do my homework, watch the Shinsuke AJ
you did?
as you recommended. Forgot to mention that a while back. But, always been a huge AJ fan. Like I said, my major gripe when he first came out was like, it's great they're throwing AJ out there, great in-ring, but he wasn't giving any mic time. I remember you guys were looking at me like...
I hate when I read on the internet people hate on his mic skills. I think
I didn't hate
fine.
his mic skills. I hate they were giving him mic time.
No.
He was coming out and saying nothing.
No,
He's coming out now, he's cutting good promos.
I thought you were giving him credit.
Yeah,
That's
I am giving him credit.
Yeah.
Great credit.
It bothers me on the internet when they hate on him.
No, he's fine on the mic as a heel, but as a babyface, he's not that good.
They didn't...
Depends what kind of leeway they give him.
That's almost...
You're not
anybody
good as a
in
babyface
WWE.
either.
I'm more effective as a heel.
But you're not. You're like Cena trying to be a heel. All right.
Almost anybody
Damn.
in WWE, though, is more entertaining as a heel on the mic because they can get away with more.
Yeah, as long as
So-
you're not chasing Kurt Angle's wife, then
Yeah, you
it's
have to be
fine.
more PC.
Yeah, so Joe, your prediction?
I wasn't done, but thanks.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, they did a good job hyping it up.
Okay.
My prediction is, and I'm going to steal... the reason I couldn't say I didn't think the Rollins match was going to end unclean because I feel this match, if any, is going to be unclean because they're going to continue it on. I can't see Cena coming back for his first match and just sell him right away. And I can't see... I would love to see AJ win it, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Aaron, your thoughts and then your prediction?
I like how Cena challenged AJ with those 2 contracts, saying it's John Cena versus AJ Styles and John Cena versus AJ Styles with the club. And Cena, basically, other than Cena put over AJ throughout that whole promo, only last week when he kind of buried him. Yeah. I don't know if you guys, if you look back on it, he basically said, okay, you couldn't beat Roman Reigns, so how you going to beat me? So he basically buried...
He killed it.
So he basically buried Roman Reigns at the same time he's the champion. Just saying, you can't be a champion, why can't you beat me? And another thing is, with AJ Styles, with the club, it's like, okay, AJ's the reason for having the club was with him so he can stay, so he doesn't get buried. But technically, the club does nothing for you because the club didn't even help you beat Roman Reigns. So the club is no threat to John Cena, basically. And AJ saying all those things about if I was there 15 years ago, I would be you, and that's kind of that may be true, it may not be, but reflecting back to what the indie stuff is, this dates back to Punk. This is another one of those matches where it's like, okay, Cena, you can't wrestle. I'm a better wrestler than you. No doubt, this match is going to be probably the match of the night, maybe a match of the year contender, no doubt, because we bash Cena for his decision. His in-ring work is unquestionably fine. So I think my decision, my pick is I think AJ wins this match.
That would be the best for the business.
I had been talking to Joe a little bit before we started, and he said the same thing. Cena, whatever you want to say about him, you may not like him, you may not be a fan, you may be chanting the Cena sucks half of that chant, but the guy delivers in these big matches. So I have no doubt it's going to be an incredible match. I've really enjoyed the promos they've done leading up to it.
Great.
I thought this was a great... I hope neither one of them is on SmackDown this week because I think this was the perfect way to lead it into Money in the Bank.
Well, John won't be there. Cena won't be there.
Well, no, but AJ and the club maybe.
The club probably because
I almost don't want to. I just don't want to see AJ with the club now that he signed that contract. He made his choice.
I don't. Yeah,
it's just me. I want to see him.
It's just him for the match.
I know,
you
but
can't be mad at him for hanging out with his boys.
I wouldn't be mad, but to me, it's like he signed that contract.
Just because you don't always hang out with us, don't mean you got to make the same statements for AJ. Jeez.
That's true. Okay, so I'm judging AJ through the lens of my own life.
He leaves his club, so he wants them to do the same.
He's been burying me for a while now.
We'll get to that at some point. I don't think we need to talk about that right now. So.
All right,
we'll get to it.
If that's how you want to play it,
speaking to the club, can we get into something I think is interesting, and that's the tag title.
The Turkey
picture.
Club?
Real quick, I'm picking AJ in this match. And now we can get to
no, you can finish. Yeah. Finish.
That's it.
More thoughts.
I'm picking AJ. That was everything I had.
AJ clean. That would be best, but I just can't see it happening from Cena's standpoint. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
you're making a good
Cena.
point.
You're a realist.
Yeah, Cena comes back from this whole thing. How's he going to just lose? Right, and his whole thing was, do I fit in? Do I belong with this new era? Is he going to really come in and just lose? And then kind of makes the point that you don't.
And another thing, essentially, is this is a new era, but nothing has screamed new era yet. No one for the new era has come up in one big matches or even have held a title. So the new era is here, but nothing's jumped out about the new era.
We have a 50% chance to see something happen in the tag team title new era
Fatal
version.
4-way. The New Day defending their titles against Enzo and Cass, against the Vaudevillains, against Anderson and Gallows. We'll get to the prediction. We got a couple sneaker guys?
Yeah, you're gonna get some Air Cielos. You're gonna get some Air Cielos.
This is some silly.
Some Chef Currys.
Those shoes have gotten bashed all week.
So let's for a second, let's take out all the bashing people have done. What do you think about those shoes on their own?
They are trash. First off, Under Armour, past or present, will never, and I mean ever put out a good shoe.
Again.
And Kofi.
There's no
Kofi,
again.
I hope you see this. Xavier, see this. Tell your boy, Kofi, you ain't a shoe guy. You ain't a shoe guy.
Respect your veteran.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Respect your veteran.
Don't say that. You ain't got no more heat than me. Stop that.
Your thought on what are they? Steph Curry,
Steph Curry,
Under Armour, it don't matter.
The Jerry Seinfelds.
The Jerry Seinfeld.
Hold on. That's disrespectful. Because Jerry Seinfeld wears heat.
He rocks heat.
Jerry Seinfeld's got better heat than Kofi Kingston. He's got better heat than everyone in the New Day.
Well, like I said, like me and Eric were saying, those shoes have gotten bashed all week because the designer of that shoe actually got fired and they brought back the previous one.
Wow.
But no matter what, there will never be a time where Under Armour sneakers will be sexy. Never.
So no chance.
In hell.
No chance. All right, I got you. I did love the Jerry Seinfeld joint joke, though, by Big Cass. And I was disappointed, obviously knew it was coming, that the verbal joust of wits, or whatever they called it, was halted by... Was it the Vaudevillains? It was
Vaudevillains,
that
yeah,
came out.
Vaudevillains.
We got a little more Aiden English singing on the mic, which is always a good time. The Bullet Club, Anderson and Gallows came out to interrupt it. 8-man tag. Thought it was a good match.
It was a long match. It got, what, 2
It was
segments?
long, but I liked the finish of this match.
Yeah, I did too.
That
Thought it was a good match,
It could have been your typical, I'm distracted, I get rolled up, but it actually ended with, I got distracted, and then got hit with a finisher, and then I lost the match that way. I liked that aspect of it. I don't know that they necessarily built this as well as they could have, but how much time? It's 4 teams.
Not just that. They could have booked this so much worse. I
Hasn't
think it's
built
good
poorly.
in the
It's
point.
just, it's kind of like scrapped for time.
Throwing in.
To say scrap for time, I want to get right to the point, and this is why I like it. I don't know who's going to win.
Right.
And I think it'll be an
It's
excellent
clear
match.
who's going to win.
If you don't mind, can we save you for last?
Yeah.
For predictions?
You
What
want
do you
my
think?
prediction first?
Yeah. I'm doing your job for a minute.
I'm going to go Anderson and Gallows.
You think Anderson and Gallows? Okay.
But what I'm certain of is New Day will not walk out with those titles.
Oh, whoa! All right. So you're saying you're certain? New Day? All right. I'm going to say myself for second last, but Joey, what do you think?
I'm going to agree with my furry little friend over there. I'm going to go to the club. I'm going to go to the club.
Wow. See, I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move to put it on them. I think it makes sense. You almost would think Enzo and Cass because of the massive push they're giving both those guys. I think it's good for at least the Vaudevillains that they're keeping them relevant. Like, me personally, I'd rather they take them out and the Dudleys are in this. However, that's just me being nostalgic. I hope the titles changed. I think right now I'm gonna say I think the New Day, but I do want to go to ALO to Sue.
New Day?
You think New Day?
Yeah, because...
Now, your reason is going to be why I think they're going to win.
All right, well...
We're seeing eye to eye.
We already know... I'm glad the club got the win because we already know that the New Day versus the club is the long-term feud in the situation. Right. And at the same time, this is a fatal 4-way tag team match, so the club doesn't have to take the pinfall. It's not elimination. It's just a straight-up fatal 4-way. So Vaudevillains can take the pinfall. And then plus, they're going out their way to mention the New Day. Next month, they'll be the longest reigning tag team champions in history. They're going out their way they're going out the way to mention Paul London and Brian Kendrick for the first time in 9 years ever. There's no reason to ever mention them other than that. So when they do that, they're digging in your head. They're going to a new record's going to be made. So I'm going with the New Day, and I think a Battleground will get the tag titles.
Timeout. Now this is because for all our viewers that don't know, me and Ayo actually off camera get along. And this guy knows a lot of stats.
Just a good gimmick for the show.
So they think London and Kendrick longest reigning tag champs.
Well, when they brought the SmackDown tag team titles,
they're the longest reigning to hold those.
Yeah, but the thing is, when in history, the older tag titles from the 90s,
Demolition.
Yeah, those are basically called the World Tag Team titles, and then the SmackDown titles, when they unified them, they have them as a WWE Tag Team titles. So they're going off of that history for that title.
Why is it just me or is that stupid?
They're swerving it.
That's bothered me for the last 5 years.
Yeah, because even if you go to the title history for WWE Tag Teams, the first champion is going to be Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. So they're only going back to the date of the WWE Tag Team titles, which were debuted on SmackDown in 2002.
And they talking about that boy Benoit. Who that?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What's he doing right now?
Toothless
Is he in NXT?
It's just Kurt Angle in question mark.
Is he in NXT? Coach down there?
No.
So we got 2 for the New Day.
Pass just ignores me.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I was talking about the guy that was half of the first tag team champions. I was wondering if he's in NXT.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm down it.
He might be. We haven't seen him in a while.
Nobody knows who he is.
I think he retired.
There's always this big gap on WWE Network.
Hall of Fame bound, probably.
Yeah.
Probably really soon.
He was in your review.
So we went from the WWE title to Dream
Women.
Match to Tag title. Wait. Let's think about other main titles. Intercontinental title match. Who was that?
There is no
There's
actual
none.
title match.
Huh.
I hate how
Oh.
last week The Miz wasn't on Raw. These promos from him being on the set, these could have been excellent promos because
No, they couldn't because the Miz is in them.
anyway, like the first promo he cut 2 weeks ago, that was great. Last week he wasn't
That's
on
great.
Raw, and this week they only gave him 30 seconds.
Well,
Because because the fact that he's not on Raw, you're angry about that, and the fact that he's the Intercontinental Champion, you're angry about that too. And he's even though last night he made the best of that 30 to 45 seconds he got because he's he's holding the Intercontinental title.
Well, I'm thinking these are going to be pre-show. The other matches that they will probably have, again, probably pre-show, is Sheamus, Apollo Crews, and
Ziggler Corbin.
Ziggler Corbin.
Ziggler Corbin.
And
Ziggler Corbin. Or you think both of them are going to be pre-show? Or you think Ziggler and
I think
Corbin?
they'll both be
I think
pre-show.
Ziggler and Corbin's going to be a filler for the for the night.
Now Ziggler Corbin's official for pre-show.
It is for
So there's 2 pre-show matches.
Well, Sheamus and Crews wasn't set for the pre-show, but Ziggler and Corbin was.
I heard Apollo will be on the pre-show.
They may throw him on there, but Ziggler and Corbin is confirmed for the pre-show.
So speaking of things that don't really matter too much, the fledgling women's division.
What? There's a women's division?
Yeah.
The Divas division?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. We have Charlotte and Dana Brooke going up against Becky and Natty at the pay-per-view. Paige actually got a rare win over Charlotte.
Paige is actually the number 1 contender because she's beating Charlotte twice.
Woohoo! It was Dana's fault. Charlotte's mad at Dana now. I'm assuming that will lead into whatever the finish of the match will be. I guess this is a good way to have Charlotte lose on a pay-per-view without losing her title. I really don't know. Really,
I'm thinking she's going to take a pin.
Yeah, I really
too.
don't care too much about this match.
I need Natty away from Becky on commentary. Because Becky's awesome on commentary, but I need
Is
Natty
there
to go.
anything you've liked about this whole angle?
No.
You? Other than Paige getting a win, because I know you're a big Paige.
Yeah, other than that.
Other than Paige, no.
I was just thinking
yeah.
of Paige, I'm sorry.
No, can we not be like everyone else from the IWC? Let's just say, hey, look, that's the segment. Who do we think's going to win and go to the next?
They didn't
You
give
know what?
They didn't
I
give-
don't know. I think Charlotte gets pinned. I don't know by who, and I don't care.
And then Charlotte just buries Dana Brooke. What we've been saying because we still don't know why. Well, we kind of know why. She's her protege.
Yeah.
But Charlotte says, "You're my assistant." No, my protege. Because we've been saying, why is Dana Brooke basically being Charlotte's lackey?
She's riding the coattails.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of it. Okay, so 2 things. Prediction. Well, you already gave yours. Charlotte loses,
takes
Becky
a
and Natty
pinfall.
win. How about you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I was just hearing crickets. So. I hate this match. I'm gonna go Natty Ice.
I'm gonna go with Natty and Becky. 3/4 of this match is fine. And Sasha destroy all of them after the match.
Well, that was my next
Come
question.
on.
I wanted everybody to answer. Do we see Sasha Banks at Money in the Bank?
This is
We'll
what
see her backstage.
Sasha
We're
Banks, will we see her at Money in the Bank?
Yeah, we'll see her at the pre-recording stuff, like standing by the signs and stuff.
Okay, how about you?
I need Sasha to destroy all of them after this match. Come down and destroy all 4.
So, everybody thinks we will see her in some way, shape, or
Do you think
form.
she's hurt? Or
No,
she's not?
she's not.
She's been wrestling
they're just
superstars in main
waiting
event.
and waiting and waiting to save her for the angle for SummerSlam.
Really?
I'll take Natty and Becky as well.
What are we
in
doing
this
at
match.
SummerSlam?
Where SummerSlam?
Well, I mean, what are we doing SummerSlam? Will we see the angle?
I don't know. Hopefully, we'll find out starting Sunday night.
Yes, hopefully.
It'll probably be Monday. It'll probably throw it right at Monday.
Yeah, 3 matches I think nobody really cares about. If anybody has any comments they want to make on them, feel free. I don't. So, Rusev and Titus.
I like how they made Rusev look real strong. I
Yeah.
do like that.
They're building back up after
Yeah,
that, whole,
because like
that whole debacle with the League of
yeah, 'cause
Nations.
I think they're trying to build him up to a main event level again, and with how he attacked Titus. But I think Ruru wins.
Joe?
I'll go Ruru.
Ruru? Eric?
I think Rusev wins. Bulgarian Brute's going to win. I guess this is just my side question to it. Do you see this continuing?
No.
I think this is just for this. I don't know what's next.
I
but
think the only way I hope it's not that. Nothing against Titus. I do think it would continue if I think that. I mean, we're predicting it in almost every damn match, but if there's a screwy finish, I mean, you hear the commentary say nonstop, this is Titus's first shot for a singles title. His first shot for a singles title.
I think they
So I
could
think
push
he gets
Titus,
this
but
close.
I doubt if they push him.
I think he gets this close and then
Comes up just short.
yeah.
I'm going to go Rusev as well. Eric, Apollo Crews, and Sheamus.
I don't care.
New Era versus Old Guard.
I'm gonna refill my beer during that. I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
the bathroom. Oh, it's pre-show. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care.
You get some more booty juice. I'm gonna go Apollo Crews. I think they're trying to push him as far as they can, and they still haven't given him a gimmick, but I think Apollo Crews gets the win.
Well, apparently Apollo Crews, he must have drunk in some of the gift of Ayla last week because he showed an edge last week.
He did.
Last night.
He
So
showed
I
an
think
edge.
Apollo Crews wins this match.
I like that Jericho drinking in man reference. It's kind of what my whole column was about. This
I
week.
love that column.
Great
Thank you.
column.
I
Drink.
appreciate
I
it.
drank it in. I drank it
Thank
all
you.
in.
Drink it in, man.
I'll drink some more.
My
in.
favorite. It's my favorite thing right now, I think. He's done it maybe only 5 or 6 times, but love it every single time.
I liked your shout out to him still taking the bumps too in the.
I know. Yeah, I
The
really
asylum.
really respected him for that. He's one guy who has nothing to prove, and he took that tack.
He's
bump.
got nothing to prove, and that's why he deserves this Money in the Bank briefcase.
Exactly. Ziggler and Corbin. Eric.
Why is this a thing?
What's this? Their 5th match? 4th match?
At
18th
least.
match? Oh my gosh, man! It's so terrible because they both need the win.
Where is
you
Baron
talk
Corbin?
you talk about the
I don't know.
50-50 booking. You know, oh my gosh, I like Ziggler. I'm a fan, but if he loses this feud, quit, man. Go somewhere else. They do you wrong.
He's such a sad man.
Shave your head again. Shave your head again. Make yourself look like
Dye it
Evan
black,
Bourne.
maybe.
Dye it
Yeah,
blonde?
go-
Was it blonde or
It was
brown?
black.
It was brown. It was
Black
dark
brown.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They do him wrong. And then at the same time, if he wins, where's Baron Corbin go?
Where's he been now?
Yeah.
He needs to go back to NXT or something. I don't
So who do you
know.
think, Corbin or Ziggler?
I can't make up my mind. I'm more of a fan of Ziggler, and I probably like Corbin here more than any of you guys. But, yeah, I can't decide. It sucks whoever wins. It sucks whoever loses. They shouldn't be feuding with each other.
Yeah.
I agree.
Unless it's for a title. But guess what? They're not putting a title on either of them.
I agree with my boy. I mean, I don't know why they keep burying Ziggler down. I'm always wait to see him get a push there, but it never happens, and I think that continues, and just Corbin's going to win.
I don't care. Where is Baron Corbin? Where's he been? I don't care. Corbin's going to win. Ziggler got set. He's
He's a lone wolf. He does his own
He
thing.
is it is such a sad story with Dolph Ziggler.
He runs
Baron
with his own
Corbin
pack.
wins.
I'm taking Baron Corbin too. There's really no reason for Dolph Ziggler all of a sudden to start getting these wins now. I feel like the damage has already been done. There's not really too much they could do to turn it around.
Team up with AJ Lee again.
Yeah, oh, that'd be one way.
and your brother.
Yeah.
Big E.
It's not his brother. It's
He's
him.
awesome.
So I'm going to go with Corbin as well. So, Money in the Bank. Last thing we're going to talk about with the main roster. Are you looking forward to this show? You expecting a good show?
Yes, they keep building it up as the best Money in the Bank in history, and the Money in the Banks are usually they're okay. Some lands, sometimes it all lands, sometimes it all doesn't. But I'm excited for this Money in the Bank. I think this may be the best one of all time.
Damn straight, I'm looking forward to it. I think we were talking earlier. I think I like the way they put the card together. I've seen a little build with the storylines. Super excited to see Seth Rollins back in again a main, title event because it's just an awesome match. The Money in the Bank matches will be good. AJ Styles, Cena is going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to give the cheesiest response possible.
Which is what?
I'm looking forward to the match, and it's going to be a treat for a Father's Day gift for myself.
Aww.
I can get behind that. I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be a few really good matches. Really looking forward to AJ and Cena. I think that'll be a really fun one. Hoping Roman, pulls it out, but not holding out hope. So tune in Sunday, WWE Network, for an undisclosed low monthly fee. Not going to do all the work for them.
No, Marvel.
Hopefully we get some silliness in this pay-per-view.
I think we'll see some silliness.
Some good silliness.
I think we will. Yeah, maybe
New Day always brings the silly.
Maybe I'm overdoing it on the silliness, but I'm really enjoying it right now. I don't know
New
why.
Day will bring the silly.
Yeah. So NXT TakeOver the End took place last week. A lot of speculation about what the
only a
end
week
meant.
ago, wow.
Yeah, only a week ago. Not even a week tomorrow.
Jeez, it feels like it was a month ago.
Yeah, I know.
We had the debut of Andrade Cien Almas against the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. What did you think of the debut of Cien? Unmasked for the first time?
Yeah, which is always crazy. The luchador taking a mask off is like blasphemy.
And again, he didn't come out with the mask and then take it off. He just,
No, they-
Not in the
he's just
vignettes.
known. He's just known.
No,
Those vignettes.
Yeah, they
vignettes
changed it to
taking it
vignettes
off.
and him taking it off in the vignettes, yeah.
Oh yeah, vignette. Oh, that was it. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought the match was great. I hope they do something strong with him. Being 50% Hispanic, I do always hope for a strong, Latin, someone hopefully at least with mic skills, because my boy Alberto has none of them. But good match, phenomenal ring work. Triple H seems to be extremely high on him.
You have the shining stars.
Are you guys related in some way?
They ain't do no him. In-laws. No direct.
Joe, Dillinger, and Almas, were you impressed with these guys?
I thought it was a good match, and I mean, Dillinger, half the man as my compadre Ron.
You got your apology yet?
Have not. We will get to that very shortly.
But solid match. I like Cien. I mean, I don't know much about him. I'm not gonna lie. Solid match from him though.
Yeah, I was impressed with him, but it's kind of hard to debut him against Ty Dillinger because he's so over.
So over. He's kind of the new Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Because he's good. The fans react to him, but they react positively to him all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no matter what.
But now he's the guy that's tasked with, sorry, we're going to have to put you against the new guy.
pushing,
You're gonna have to put him
pushing
over.
people.
I mean, this is all topic, but if you guys, I don't know if it was on the network special of Rollins. Rollins even put over
Jericho's podcast.
on Jericho's
Jericho's
podcast, he
podcast.
put over how good Ty Dillinger's ring work is, and said,
He's a good hand.
He's like, I went down to the
Stone Cold
Perform Center, and I was glad I was in the ring with Ty Dillinger and not someone that was green. So
Yeah. I hope that Ty Dillinger eventually gets a chance. Because this character...
hopefully they don't treat him like our boy Breeze.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this character has been a lot
Who's
of
that?
fun. Who's what?
Ty-
Tyler
Ty-
Breeze?
Fandango's cousin.
Is he someone that should be in WWE or is he
He's
demoted?
somebody who should be a thing
on
in
the
WWE.
Smack-
He should be a
he's on the
champion in
SmackDown.
WWE.
Oh, he's a wrestler.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought he was like behind this. No, damn.
Yeah, it's easy to forget. But I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good debut for that guy. I just hope Ty Dillinger eventually gets his due.
I do. Well, I think he may come up. Well,
I'd be fine with that.
yeah.
I'm going to throw this to you first. American Alpha against the Revival. A team you love and a team you don't love.
Yes. Well, they actually learned how to get a reaction. There was actually 5 people booing and 2 people cheering.
So they got 7 reactions
Yes.
out of however many, whatever it is, 500.
Yeah.
That's an upswing.
It is. What did you think of the match?
I thought the match was fantastic. They always deliver. Chad Gable is amazing. Like the spot where he was on Dash Wilder's shoulders, and he caught Scott Dawson into the belly-to-belly suplex. It was awesome. It's always a treat watching those guys go at it. I love American Alpha. That's so amazing. I was
my favorite tag team
Yeah.
in the whole company.
Can you get him clean pants?
yeah, and then I like the ending. I really do. But then the what?
We were making fun of you, no.
Okay, don't make fun of me.
Okay, tell me if
Don't
I
make fun
like
of the
that.
champ. Anyway, the ending, I didn't expect Dash and Dawson to regain the titles. But what I did find hilarious was the "Who the hell are you" chants. What are their names? That new team?
I wrote it down.
Oh,
The
yeah, I just read it
Authors
today.
of Pain.
Yeah, okay.
And apparently this guy that came down, the manager's...
There's a
Paul
rule
Ellering.
Yeah, Paul Ellering.
WWE Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
yeah. I know he is.
All right. Even I knew that.
Apparently,
crowd did not.
You old.
I'm just selling it to the
He
people.
came out after.
Me and Ayla, we young. Wait.
I was pretty disappointed that they lost. I thought they'd hold those for a little while. I didn't like that they lost it in a rematch. But, yeah, I can't get enough of Gable.
Yeah.
Everything he does to me.
Yeah, they are so exciting.
Everything he does to you.
Everything he does, in my eyes, is entertaining. The towel, everything is so sick.
so sick.
Am I going last?
You can go. You can go right now if you want.
You guys all got your points across.
I didn't
I
even
will
talk
say
about
one thing. Oh, you didn't?
No.
I haven't even talked about it.
No, you go ahead.
Should I? Or
Yeah, you
Did
should.
you like the match?
I
If
thought
you
it was-
didn't like the match, just don't say
No, I
that.
thought it was a great match.
I did too.
I thought it was a really good match. There was one exchange where all four men were doing the exact same thing at the same time. Exchanges left, and then they ended up with the back
sick.
suplexes. It was awesome. Super
Now,
sick.
now, I always feel like I'm out of the loop sometimes when we talk about the NXT tag division because
loop?
I never really get attached to
There's a
any
loop?
of these teams.
There's a loop.
What's that?
There's a loop.
There is a loop.
Loop in the match?
Well, there's a loop.
I continue.
Oh, the loop
Continue.
here.
Don't worry about it.
You're out of the circle.
These two think they're the American Alpha. I swear. Listen, they love them. Like they're good in the ring. I don't know what it is about them. There's some
Do you watch their
attachment they have.
you watch their promos?
Neither of these guys.
Have you seen Chad
No.
Gable's promos?
See, look.
So you're going on a promo, but neither of you,
Listen.
you bigger guys can move nearly as quick as Chad Gable.
It's not about-
It's a lot of admiration.
I do have a lot
When
of
they do their
admiration.
two-man power trip, they get off. When they do that show that's terrible when we're not here. At the end of it, they cut it off, and then they do some stupid handshake and yell American Alpha. It's terrible. Dennis showed me it.
Oh my jeez,
So
I don't.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I would say
So-
maybe more like
I get-
Murphy and Blake.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
How
And
dare
Dennis is
you.
Well,
Alexa Bliss.
first of all,
That's a good Alexa Bliss.
But no,
That's a good Alexa
to the
Bliss.
match. To the
Okay,
match.
To the match.
I thought the match was great. And I've never, again, the NXT tag division, it is something that I always think is good. I just don't, I'm not even going to say the word right, but I don't resonate with any team. I don't really get attached to any of them. None of them's really done a lot for me. One thing that I really did like, the Revival, I think they're great in the ring. They're good as heels. The good thing
Great as
about these
heels.
two teams, whether they go up, if the American Alpha go up in 2 weeks, a month, whenever, and if it takes the Revival a little longer, it's going to be good to see these guys in 3 years or in the main roster going at it again. They're always going to put on good matches. I didn't see the titles changing, which was a
didn't either.
plus.
I didn't either.
And if I'm correct, Lotus, we're going to need you. The Revival are officially
the only team to win the titles twice.
Yes,
they're the
first
only,
time. First time.
the only people
First
born.
two-time champion for any
As a
title.
Yeah,
team.
any title on NXT.
No, again,
Neville's a two-time tag champ.
he's a two-time tag
Oh,
champ
is
with
he
two
really?
different partners, but
Oh,
they're the only.
I got you.
Okay,
That's different. That's another loophole.
now
Like,
that boy got
one
a lot
point
of
I did
trouble.
want to make, and I'm going to make this point.
I love it.
Okay, I didn't see the title changing hands. I don't have really a problem with it because I like Revival as the heel. My problem is, all right, Revivals and the and fighting for these titles. You don't expect them to win after jobbing to Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. What, a week
Yeah.
prior? That's not how you build. The Revival should be on a roll going into that match against the tag champions, American Alpha. It
Well,
doesn't
anytime
make
the-
sense to have him lose
Well,
to
anytime the
Ciampa.
Revival loses, I just smile.
And that's great, but it doesn't make sense to have him lose that match.
No, it doesn't.
They're
and
not
then
as
win
bad
against-
as
win against
Blake and
American
Murphy. You
Alpha.
Oh,
can't
no,
hate
no,
'em
no,
like
no,
that.
Nobody is.
Nobody's bad as Blake and Murph. Nobody.
They no longer exist.
My cousins are.
I've
My cousin is.
Oh yeah.
They're close. I
They're-
don't know. I think
well-
there should be Money in the Bank for that. Who's the worst tag
Well,
team?
they
in the
both.
company?
Well, let me see.
Jeez.
The Shining Stars with
I don't even wanna
Rosa.
record that
Nobody would
show.
get to the top of that ladder.
Ron, the Shining Stars with Rosa, or Blake and Murphy with Alexa.
You know, I'd go Blake and Murphy.
What about Doink and
I don't know. You
Reaper
know who
Man?
Rose is?
I go.
You know who Rose is?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not-
I'll go. I'll go with Alexa Bliss
I'd be quick if we had
Alexa Bliss or
Coronas.
Alexa Bliss or
and
who?
Blake over Blake and,
That was
and Blake and the
inappropriate.
Murph.
So, Joe, I'm going to go to you first on the next one because I know you're a big fan of Austin Aries.
A double?
Had his big match with Nakamura. But before I throw it to you, Austin Aries still, what are we, 4 or 5 weeks removed from this? Called himself the Perfect 20. There's only one. He's me. I want my
I messed
apology.
up earlier. It was Austin Harrison.
Yeah, I want my apology. I still have not gotten it. You stole my nickname. You can be the greatest man who ever lived. That's fine. But I'm the perfect 20. That's all there is to it.
You just want an apology.
That's all I want.
That's all I
I'm not
want.
asking for a match. I'm asking you to apologize, and you owe it to me. So, Joe, what did you think of this match?
Well, I'm getting into the match, but I don't want to disappoint you, Ron, because I agree you are the perfect 20 and you deserve the apology, but I don't know if you notice, Austin Aries being a very vain man is very unlikely to give you any kind of apology.
Well, I'm going to have to do something about that.
He would just, you're going to have to be madness. That's the only answer.
All right, well, that may just be what's going to happen.
That's going to be the only answer. He's a very vain man, and
We
you're
don't
not going to
wanna
get the
bring him
apology you
back.
deserve.
Well, maybe you'll see madness at some point.
It was a turbulent time in your youth.
It was, and it could be a turbulent time in my adulthood
We don't
too if
wanna go
Austin
back to
Aries
that.
isn't careful.
Now to the match. Shinsuke Aries, I was really looking forward to this match going in. I had super high expectations. Did it ultimately live up to those expectations? No, but it wasn't a bad match. I think maybe I had just really expected more.
You had the type of expectations that are just hard to reach.
Yeah, probably impossible to reach. Overall, it was a good match, though. I still love what Shinsuke is doing in there. Overall, pretty good match. But, I mean, if I had to say, I think the Alpha match was better.
Matt, those were great. That was a great match. How about you, Nakamura and Aries?
I think
I know you're a big Aries guy too.
Yeah, I think it was a good match, but like, after watching Nakamura with Styles and Sami Zayn, I expected a little bit more out of this match.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the match was fine. There were things that I popped for in this match. Like the Death Valley driver on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Was
and
great.
for the first time in years, in my watching, you saw an air clap.
Yeah.
Aries did an air clap, and I was like, "Oh wow, you never see that." And one thing about NXT that I love that separates them from WWE is the commentary gets excited for a finish. When Shinsuke goes for the Kinshasa, Graves
sell that.
Graves and Phillips, they both sell it. Like if Cole's like Kinshasa, Corey Graves and Phillips, Kinshasa, they sell it.
Michael Cole may just say, "Oh, he planted him."
Yeah.
That's his favorite thing to say.
Yeah. They make the move and the finish sound so exciting, so you actually want to pay attention to it. But this match, it was good, but it wasn't what lived up to my expectations.
Eric, thoughts? Do you agree with these two?
100%. I thought the match was good because, unlike these two, I don't know Austin Aries all like that. So I don't know he's as good as he is. So I thought the match was good. But I do have, these guys as friends. I do have some other people I know who are fans of him. So I expected a little more, but I wasn't blown away.
You had some
impressed.
nitpicks?
And not really, just because I had nothing to expect.
I thought it was good. So again, I was not introduced to Austin Aries till we saw him at the NXT show that was here, and it was a tag match. So we didn't get to see a whole lot. Seen him a few times on NXT. I think he's good, and I do like him being more of a heel character. I think that suits the whole greatest man who ever lived catchphrase. What I did like about this match is I felt like they gave Austin Aries some time to shine. Like he was in control.
Yeah, he was carrying the match for a lot.
And you don't see
Shinsuke
that.
could have snuck away with the win in a way.
I thought that was a good way to do it because if you want Aries to be one of these guys that matters in your company, I think it was good to put him on more of an equal footing with Nakamura. So I thought that I like. Was it the barn burner of a match that everybody was clamoring for? Probably not, but I thought it was good. It entertained me, and I thought it kept both characters strong.
That's an excellent point with that, keeping the strength of that. I did agree with that.
It's an excellent point that you're copying someone's commentary from last night with the barn burner comment.
Who said barn burner last night?
It was either JBL or Cole about the tag match, Del Rio and Owens versus the Lucha Dragons.
Ah, you're right.
They said this match could be a barn burner.
So I was just floating somewhere around back there where I guess Michael Cole and JBL live.
A lot of empty space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, you are looking like a hippie, all that long hair tonight.
See how long it gets.
Oh, no. We don't want madness.
No, I'm not going to grow the hair, and I just was too lazy to shave it.
We don't want madness.
Holy moly, what if you do a Hogan, bro? Like, rock the top bald and just grow some long hair.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
I just don't have it in me to do it.
Ron, sometimes you
That's
gotta
the
reach
new
down
era
deep.
of
You gotta dig
madness.
down deep and
I think I'm
find
going to
something.
keep growing the beard.
Find
but,
something.
That's the new era of madness.
Yeah, what, the beard? The full beard?
The whole.
The Hulk
Hogan
Hogan.
one.
Yeah,
What if we go a couple
never.
of weeks, grow the beard and the back, whichever one grows longer is the one you keep.
All right.
I'm interested.
That's fair. Women's championship match. Nia Jax against Asuka. I had high hopes for this match. I feel like the match delivered.
Good. I was going to say, don't tell me you were let down.
No, I thought it was really good. I've always been a proponent of the smaller person against the bigger person. It's not.
It doesn't always got to
It's
be a
not the
giant
high
against a
flying.
giant.
No, it's not the high flying match here. A lot of people like, but I think there's a good clash of styles there. And Asuka being booked as dominantly as she has been all this time, I think it was good to have her in there with someone that could just manhandle her if she wanted to.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it gave her an obstacle to overcome, which we haven't really seen yet.
I'm going to say this, and I hope my co-host and all our viewers aren't bothered by this. Alo and Pash have been bothered by the main roster's women's division for the past 2-3 months
throw me
now.
in that too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I hate what they're doing.
I hate it, and this is the point. I hope no one takes this the wrong way. I'm never surprised when WWE butchers the women's division.
Oh, me neither.
You've seen it for years.
Well, this is
It's one of those
NXT.
things. No, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
When you're on the main roster, and if you get more than 2 months of solid, good booking from the women's division, that's rare. If you get more than 2 months, that is rare. The good thing about this match, we got something really bad going on. Like, Charlotte's doing great, and we all can agree that. Charlotte is doing great.
Great heel work.
She's doing great heel work. It's the storylines and everything she's going through right now isn't great. The matches that they're having is not what we want. It's not what other fans want. However, NXT is what re-revolutionized women's wrestling, and right now is still giving you something more than solid to watch.
So they're continuing.
That match was good. It beat my expectations. It's one of those things. I remember, I think it was Breaking Ground. I saw a little bit of Nia Jax, and I got into her character. It might have just me being a hype beast got into her because of her family. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I thought she delivered. She's definitely progressed fast.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot better.
I thought the match was really good.
Joe?
Match was okay. I don't know. I've talked about it before. I'm not really sold on Nia Jax yet. Thought the match overall was pretty good. I liked a lot more of watching Asuka just throw choke holds and maneuvers out of nowhere. Like, she's the armbar and then she's in a rear naked choke. Overall, the match was good, though. I'm just not sold on Nia Jax.
So it's going to take some time for you to
buy
in.
Yeah.
I feel like Seth Rollins, you're not going to sell out, but you have to wait to buy in.
Definitely.
Gotcha. Aaron?
I like the match, but like you said, I hold these same thing with Aries and Nakamura. I hold these women's title matches in higher regard than most matches. So this was a good match, no doubt, but it was one of the lower women's title matches in NXT. I like your point about how Asuka's a different type of babyface than Bayley is, so she's more dominant and presented as a dominant force other than Bayley. And against the bigger individual Nia Jax actually showed a ton of athleticism in this match, rolling around with Asuka, and Asuka couldn't even get any of her kicks or get very limited offense in on this match. I like how Asuka did start to pick up momentum at the end, like when Nia had her pinned her, and then Asuka just slid out and put her in an armbar.
Yeah.
I did like that, but the thing with Nia Jax is they messed her up. They gave her too much too soon, because this is the second title match she's had and she's lost.
Yeah,
they gave her way too soon. This should kind of really been her first loss.
So my question is, and this is the question I was thinking after watching this match, is where does Asuka go from here?
I think that's gonna be her and Bayley in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I don't know that there's anywhere else for her to go.
Yeah.
I'm shocked as to the way you responded. I figured you'd already have a dirt sheet on this or something. I don't know. You'd be like, you guys see the dirt sheet?
It's not even that. According to speculation, per my eyes, it's
per
gonna
my
be
Per your eye.
Ever since the year 2000, I've had nitpicks, and per my eyes,
he has one good eye right now. So per my eye,
one good eye is all he needs.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bayley and Asuka. That's pure speculation. Unlike the dirt sheets, who said according to sources, don't name any of their sources, and they always give themselves an out. Plans can change.
Breathe.
Because
He said enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
I'm leaning on you a lot tonight.
No, because Eric mentioned these dirt sheets to me, and I'm like, look, read this. According to sources,
I don't read nothing you send me.
You read these dirt sheets and say, oh, I heard this. They say according to sources. Who's your source?
You.
And they always give themselves an out. They say, oh, well, plans can always change. So they give themselves an out. As a journalist, you should take offense to that.
Yeah.
I'll be here next week. Plans could change.
Main event. First ever cage match in NXT. Eric, I'll go to you first one more time, because I know you were especially looking forward to seeing the first cage match. Did you get what you wanted out of it?
It's hard to answer that. At first, by the time the pinfall happened, I'll be honest, I was disappointed. I rewatched the match,
But it was more the result than the match, or was it?
It wasn't the result.
combination?
I was fine with the result. My counterpart, I'm probably going to catch heat for him. Is it wrong that I wanted a big spot from this match? Is it wrong?
No. Well, you got a muscle buster from the second row.
That's kind of
And that's
a nice spot.
I read on a dirt sheet. I read a stupid comparison on the internet comparing Finn Balor to someone being the modern day someone, and I was just like, oh, well, you might as well take that and shove it straight up your candy ass, because if he was, he'd have done a spot from the top.
Who was that supposed to be?
He said he was the modern day Jeff Hardy.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Two different style wrestlers. Two different style wrestlers.
And again, and it's probably not the right high flying move, but is it wrong that I kind of wanted? And I'm going to pronounce the move wrong. The coup de grace, like
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
That's too high. That's too high.
Is it wrong that I wanted it from the
That's
cage?
too high. He would destroy his knees.
It's not wrong to want it.
It's not wrong.
But that would have been a tough spot.
That is
not only
too
destroy his
high.
knees, he could easily just trample the guy on the ground too if he doesn't pull it right.
He bounced right off all that belly. No, but seriously, I think that was a problem I had during the match.
Were you waiting for something, or it ended and you were like, oh,
I was hoping
for more?
I was hoping for something. That was my problem. So I actually the whole show in retrospect I kind of want to rewatch, but I think like 2 hours after I rewatched the cage match and I liked it a little more. I wasn't mad. I did like the muscle buster. I'm glad you guys brought that out. The way it ended, it was good. I don't know, for some reason I knew Finn wasn't going to go over. I just kind of, even if it was a botch where like he went for a move and Joe moved out, and it's just me being picky. It's me being picky. It's me being greedy. Nah, it's me being greedy as a fan.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I thought the match was good.
I liked the match. I thought it was a really good match. It kind of met my expectations and didn't exceed it. Definitely liked the muscle buster. From the second, it was kind of a good way to end them up after there was a couple exchanges. Yeah. You didn't know there was close pins here and there. Overall, I thought it was a good match. I thought it pretty much sealed up the pay-per-view. Didn't blow me away, but it was good.
Not quite sealed with a kiss like Money in the Bank 2011.
Not sealed in the kiss. Not sealed with a kiss.
Aaron?
All right. This match suffered from the I've seen it too many times syndrome.
Couple nitpicks?
Yeah, couple nitpicks. But the intensity from that Dallas match didn't really carry over into this match. You could still tell these guys didn't like each other and it was still a fight. Well, you already know how I feel about blood feud starting with a lockup. Why are you trying to be technical in a circle of a blood feud? But this match was basically what it was, a simple steel cage match. It wasn't overbooked, no high spots, nothing crazy. I like how Finn wanted to pin Joe.
Yeah.
He didn't want to escape the cage. But when he realized that he threw everything at Joe, he tried to escape. I did like that. But I do think this match did something from I've seen it too many times.
So there was just nowhere for it to go.
Well, it's kind of hard to see it too many times when it's the first steel cage match.
Well,
between these two guys.
But they've been feuding for what since November.
I thought it was good.
It hasn't been that long, jeez.
Yeah, 7 months I think they said.
Yeah.
That feud lasted. I thought it was good, but yeah, I did not think it matched what they did in Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that Joe had blood all
Yeah,
over the
that
place.
blood-
Dallas was just good.
Yeah,
man.
that was in the beginning of that match. So that gave more intensity to that match in Dallas.
Snapped.
You didn't have that at the end.
Now I'm gonna throw a little more weight behind my point. Now say Samoa Joe never won that match, that dark match that you guys said. You like that they did this because WWE.
So if he won the title,
so
in
if
that match,
he didn't win it that match, and he won it that night,
In the cage match?
how much would
It
that
would've been
how much
better.
would have been better than that?
you
That
know, it
would
would
have
have added
escalated
a
the
lot.
pay-per-view like tenfold.
Yeah, it would have added a lot.
It would have blown
to it.
minds.
Yo, Regal, H, listen. You put out good points right here, man.
Well,
I'm not mad at it because I went to a live show, but still, it would have made the show better.
well, to their point, they're mainly a touring brand, so they want you to think that things happen at these live events instead of just faces win every match.
Things can happen, but it doesn't have to be a title exchange.
Like for example, the debut of Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
you
Bobby
could.
Roode's not the only person to debut a bunch of those guys have done that.
No, but the thing is that Bobby Roode's the only one that's made a debut at a live event, and it was that's actually
What about
his
Austin
debut.
Aries?
They announced Austin Aries signing.
What about Eric Young?
Eric Young, they announced it.
I didn't have a problem with
I
it.
thought he's not even signed yet. He still got his pro wrestling tees thing.
No, Eric Young, he's not. He had one of those James Storms deals by the appearance deal.
Well, I never complained about him appearing at that. I just think a title change on the dark match is kind of crazy.
I think to your point, I think a lot of talent is going to go with the roster split. So I think they're going to have to rely on being a touring brand, building people up. I think that you're right that the live shows are going to have to hold more weight than just the weekly show that airs on WWE.
Yeah, and
I don't think they have to have more weight. You're going to sell at those live shows. The live shows aren't.
but the thing is, you want to make them matter because they are technically house shows. You want to make them matter. You, as a fan, you want to go there like, okay, something's going to happen. You want to expect.
But live shows aren't suffering from fan viewership. They're not losing ticket sales.
NXT
specifically is a touring brand.
They're losing money on TV. They're losing money on viewers. They're losing money on.
They're on the network. They're on the network, so they're not going off of ratings.
Raw. They always complain about Raw and SmackDown not getting any ratings.
NXT isn't on TV. It's a WWE Network exclusive show.
I know. I'm just saying.
NXT relies more on the live show, so they have to make the live
Full
show.
Sail is going to be a hard ticket. That's never not going to sell out.
Right.
But when they travel, they have two traveling shows. They have a A show and a B show. They travel two different places at the same
they're
time.
not selling tickets.
They are selling tickets.
Oh.
But the thing is, you want to keep that up, and since they're a main touring brand, you want to think that something's going to happen when you go to
Man,
these
you
shows.
made a point earlier.
I don't think that's going to be an issue though, because
It's not an issue.
I went. What's it called? Not last year. What was it? 3 months
last
ago?
year.
No, like 3 months ago. When did you guys go? And I
We
couldn't
went
go.
through
We
months
went in February.
Yeah, in February.
Went in February. Those
You
tickets
and I
sold
went
out.
last May.
I know, but those tickets sold out in February a lot faster than they sold out last May.
Yeah, but the thing is, you want to keep that up.
That's fine.
Now it's gonna
not
get
gonna be an
worse.
issue. You even made the point. These fans, these NXT fans, are almost ECW-ish. They're diehard fans. They don't care if you have the Perfect 10 losing 7 consecutive matches. They're still out there cheering him like he's the champion.
But they want the shows. They want the house
I
shows.
love this NXT.
They
product.
want the house shows to feel like a Full Sail show where things can happen.
We can argue.
We have a clear divide once again.
We can argue. We can push.
So I
I love when we don't agree.
I think in the end we all liked TakeOver the End.
It was okay.
We
Wasn't the best TakeOver they've ever done. And I think they're
Joey
suffering.
made a good point.
He did, but I think they're also suffering from they don't have quite the star power right now that they did this time last year. When we saw NXT in May last year, we had Kevin Owens, we had Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Finn Balor, obviously,
My cousin Tyler Breeze. Can I
Baron
claim him?
Corbin,
He's
Tyler
Canadian.
Breeze, Enzo and Cass. Like they
Yeah, I
were
said,
all.
can I claim him?
I mean,
asked.
they agreed they don't have the exact star power, but they could.
They will eventually.
There's guys sitting back there that they're not using. I mean, there's Bobby Roode, who
Hugo Knox.
we know to end. Hugo Knox, who's we were talking, just like a ridiculous human being. I don't even understand that guy exists. It's like I want to make out with him. That's the only way to make out with him.
He was the guy I interviewed at the Performance Center post-match, after his match. And standing next to him on the ramp, I felt like this guy is not... He and I are not the same species. Like, he's a different species from me. That's how I felt standing next to him. That was not like any other human man I've ever seen in my life.
Guys, we still got listener questions.
We do, so it's just about to throw it to.
I know. I was just doing your job.
Eric, you're good for that, Eric.
You thought that was funny, huh?
All right, we have a question from the returning babyface Ronald Lloyd.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Welcome
you said
back,
that,
Ronald
Welcome
Lloyd.
back now.
He says, I heard a rumor that WWE will have 2 pay-per-views a month after the brand extension.
Oh,
What are your
jeez.
thoughts about this? Are 2 pay-per-views a month too much?
Hell to the no. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Way too much.
You're gonna ruin it. They can't build proper storylines now with one pay-per-view month.
They did that a little bit last summer. Didn't they do that like...
No, there's no brand extension last time.
Our pass.
I'm
Our pass.
sorry. When the Elimination Chamber happened
Yeah,
last month...
twice.
Yeah.
They threw like a live event.
That's not a
network.
brand extension.
No,
We're
right.
not talking about brand extensions.
Yes,
We're
we are
talking
talking
about
about-
pay-per-views.
we're
We're talking
talking
about
about
multiple
2 pay-per-views.
pay-per-views.
We're talking ultimately about 2 pay-per-views.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that because they have to actually have things make sense.
My answer to this is with the brand
Ahmed
extension,
Johnson.
you should not do 2 pay-per-views a month. They're already doubling the product by having 2 live shows Monday and Tuesday. SmackDown, SmackDown's its own show now. So it's now double the product. If there's 2 pay-per-views, it's truly, you're getting double of everything, and it's going to be too much. It's going to be oversaturated, I think.
Yeah.
I like it better. If they're going to do separate pay-per-views, I think just do the every other month. It gives you more time to build stories, and it makes those pay-per-views individually more important.
Yeah. Because back when they first started, I know... did they have 2 pay-per-views a month at one point? I think it was. I think...
They might have.
Because I know at one point, Raw would have June, and the SmackDown would have July, and then come together for SummerSlam. I think there was a point where they both had a pay-per-view, like one was one week, one was the next week. But it's too much. I understand that they're 2 different entities now, so it could work, but don't even try it because I don't think those rosters will be deep enough to fill out a whole card. Because a lot of those brand exclusive pay-per-views, they're horrible. They're nothing to watch.
Plus, you need time to build proper storylines, and you can't do that with 2 pay-per-views a month. You're rushing.
Well, no, the thing is, but they'll be brand specific. But the thing is, like I said, they'll have to dig down to the bottom of their roster to fill out a card for a specific show.
Right. So we got 3 definitive no's on 2 pay-per-views a month. Act 2 Fly, what's your definitive answer? Yes or no to 2 pay-per-views a month?
It better not do it.
All right. So we got it across the board. Nobody wants to do.
Clean sweep.
All right. What do we got next?
We got another question from Angel. Hi, honey.
Angel.
Hey,
Hey, love. Thinking of you.
Angel, when are we invited back over?
She popped for the clean house reference, by the way.
You're my,
Well, I hope you pop for another re-invite us.
you're my Francesca.
Okay. Nobody loves my woman but me.
Sorry, Ron. I
Twice.
expect you to be drinking.
You're right.
I'm good.
All right.
Good.
So she asks, she says, what are some older WWE storylines you would like to see brought back, and who would you put in those storylines?
Who wants to take that one first?
Anybody?
It was tough. I really had to think about it, and I was drawing blanks. I mean,
Storyline you'd like to see. I wouldn't mind. I'll tell you one I don't want to see anymore because they keep recycling it and it doesn't work anymore. I don't want to see the Stone Cold Steve Austin, the guy rising up against the Authority, because he was the guy that story was made for. It has not really worked since.
you know what I kind of wanted to see, and this is kind of maybe me being nostalgic. Instead of like teasing the superstar coming back, the superstar's coming back, they used to do the old school guy in a ski mask run in for a couple of weeks, just crowbar, beat the hell out of people, then reveal himself like 3 weeks later and be like, oh, Jesus. I would like to see a reveal like that,
My story I'd like to recycle the Shawn Michaels Boyhood Dream story. But I'd like to recycle it as the Girlhood Dream story with Sasha Banks.
That'll come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, I wish if Sasha was going to wear Eddie Guerrero's, similar to Eddie Guerrero's gear when he won the title, I wish she wouldn't have lost that night. I guess mine, I will say, what I don't want recycled, I do not want them to do anything that they done Attitude Era-esque or something that you would need to be cutting edge and cannot do it with this PG era. If they're gonna be PG, don't do what you need to be.
Yeah, don't do watered down Attitude Era stuff.
And then 1000% to contradict exactly what I just said, what I would love to see them to do, but they would not have to be PG. What I would love to see them do, I don't think you see eye to eye on this. I would like them to bring back the hardcore title. Reason being, and why it would make sense with the brand split, when the brand split happened last time on Raw, the hardcore title for that first year and a half or so, maybe less, it was viable.
Less than that.
All right, well, how many people, you figure APA split up. It did something valuable for Bradshaw. It did something valuable for Bubba Ray. It gave these guys a single title run. These guys that are floating, doing nothing. Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, seen that match 18 times.
Well, the hardcore title didn't even last 6 months.
All in all, it lasted more than 6 months. After the brand split, maybe
After the brand split, it didn't.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if they could bring something back like that for those guys, it would make sense.
They need no
Go
titles.
European.
I'm telling you, but these guys now here's the
I don't mind
here's the part
I don't mind
here's the part where that this doesn't make sense. And again, this is where they have to not be PG for it. if they do this hardcore title match, it's not just a mid-card title. Being that we're watching WWE, Intercontinental title will always, and people can argue it, only when the U.S. title's on John Cena's shoulder. Intercontinental title's always going to be above the U.S. title because it's WWE forever. So after that, you have the U.S. title. You don't need another mid-card title that has no other unique thing. If they're not going to do that, they need a cruiserweight title, and some of these guys that are floating around doing nothing aren't cruiserweights. So that's why, in my opinion, if they're going to recycle something, I would love it to be the Hardcore Championship.
Do you have a story you'd like to see?
They've had plenty of times they could have done it.
Yeah, you're right.
Did you get one? Or you don't
I
know?
gave you one. I gave you a kind of
Yeah,
one.
I
said
went
that
third, guys.
Diamond Dallas Page-esque.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. That's right.
Okay,
Reveal.
well, mine is
I was paying attention, you weren't.
mine is an Evolution-esque group where there's a main event guy and then the younger guys, they get built up to the next level. That's what I would like to see. I always love to see the evolution of certain superstars.
I can get behind that.
All right. We
Can
have one
you
more.
name 4 people you want to put together?
Hmm?
Can you name 4 people you want to put together?
I would have Triple H as the legend. He'll be basically the Ric Flair. I can have Seth Rollins, probably Big Cass, and
So Triple H would be played by Rollins.
Yeah.
Big
Big
Cass would be played
Batista.
by Batista. Who would be a phenomenal Intercontinental Champion like Orton?
I'll probably say Finn Balor.
You probably need one call-up then, too.
That would work.
He just named it.
One more question.
He's already up.
I actually have 2 more.
2 more.
All right, yeah. This is from IRS Joe Lafferty.
IRS Giraffe.
He says, with AJ Cena being labeled as a WrestleMania level match, what are some WrestleMania level matches that didn't happen at WrestleMania?
I'm just gonna give one, especially because this guy has mentioned before he would have loved to have been part of WrestleMania with this guy, Undertaker, Kurt Angle.
Oh, you went different.
Good call.
That happened?
Did not happen at WrestleMania.
No. Okay, matches that did. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Which? Okay.
Yeah, just Angle Undertaker. I
Okay.
think it would have been cool for Angle to get a chance to be part of the Undertaker's. He said that he's like, I would have loved to have had a WrestleMania match with him. He just never got to do it. How about you?
I'm going to answer this wrong to an extent. I have 2 answers. Just before I answer, maybe I'll only have one. Can we say a match that's never happened?
No. The question was matches that did happen,
Oh, it
but
did.
were WrestleMania level.
I
Throw
guess
yours
when
in
it
there.
was,
Throw your other one in there, too,
no,
though.
I'll just go with the one. The WrestleMania match that should have happened. Ric Flair and Hogan.
No, that's not the. Okay.
What do you mean? Ric Flair and Hogan
No.
never happened at Wrestlemania. It was a
Okay, but
WrestleMania
from-
match that
from
should have
what-
happened. I answered the question correctly.
Okay. Next.
Now I'm confused by the question because I
The
thought
question is,
Because he can't read.
well, Okay. AJ Cena is being labeled as a WrestleMania match.
Correct.
What are some matches that happened that were WrestleMania
That match
level?
happened.
Okay.
And it didn't happen at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania
Okay.
level, not
okay.
just.
Okay. Go ahead. Eric didn't tell me from where, but okay.
Was it supposed to name where?
Yes.
That wasn't
Yeah.
part of the question.
That's tough.
Why wouldn't you say from?
Did you say from where? Did he say
No,
from
but I
where
don't
Angle and
remember.
Undertaker
Okay.
was?
Okay.
Lot of
Next.
heat
Did he
tonight.
say it? You ain't
Did
freak
you
out
go,
of him.
Joe?
All right, so I'm not an encyclopedia of knowledge, so I wouldn't know from where, but there was a couple. I want to say 2 matches that I remember are Triple H, Kurt Angle that were never WrestleMania matches. They never wrestled WrestleMania. And this could go back to our tournament that we had. You know, we had these guys pretty much in the final. That would be a great WrestleMania match.
Would be.
Okay, I'll answer this question correctly. Triple H versus The Rock at Backlash 2000. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus Edge and Rey Mysterio from No Mercy 02. Triple H Rock SummerSlam 98. And CM Punk John Cena Money in the Bank 11.
3 good ones. So we have one more.
Yep.
And who is it from?
This is from Fazil Rahimi. He says, which WWE superstar or diva will return this year and shock the WWE Universe and have success after their return? I personally would like to see The Rock return.
Thank you, Vasile. Thank you.
So somebody who will return and make an impact. That's tough. Anybody want to take this one?
I'm sorry, can you reread the question?
Randy Orton, easy toss up.
Which WWE
Softball.
superstar or diva will return this year and shock the WWE Universe and have success?
See, I don't know about shocking.
I'm going to say
Ooh,
Bray
success.
Wyatt.
I got it. Success. I'm gonna say success just because it's by making an impact, and no one will like it.
Goldberg?
Yeah. I hope
almost
Goldberg
went with
does
that.
Or strip on an alphabet, huh?
I almost said that. I just
See,
didn't
shock
want to.
and success, though, that makes the question a little different.
All right, Goldberg will shock.
That's
Well, it'll
up to
shock
Sal.
I'm not saying
Goldberg.
from your
Sal's
standpoint.
going to
From my
answer your
standpoint.
questions. It's going to get to you. It's going to penetrate your mind a bit.
Who do
Joe,
got
did
there?
you?
I'll go Adam Morrison then if it's. Why was I Adam Morrison again?
All right, why not?
John Morrison. I was gonna say Adam Morrison.
I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt because since there's gonna be a brand split, he can actually be booked properly and actually win matches and win feuds actually means something.
All right, Fazil, thank you for the
That's
question.
it.
We appreciate it. That's all the questions for tonight.
Thank you, Fuzzy Eel.
Thanks,
All
Fazil.
right.
I'm the only one that answered your question properly.
Thank you to all of our questioners. Thank you to anybody who watched the show. You can watch us on YouTube and our Facebook page. You can listen to us on Podbean and iTunes. Stay tuned one more day for Throwback Madness. Get well, G-Man. Triple G.
G-Man, get well, buddy.
Don't ever wear a lime green V-neck. Don't do it.
Take care of that fibula, G-Man. You're our buddy.
I guess, yeah, we'll, send out our love, prayers, thoughts with everybody in Orlando, the families, the victims. I'm not a big fan of the whole, say the city and then call that city strong because I feel like every city handles it.
We just say our love. We say our love and.
But, yes, that whole community, everybody involved, our thoughts are with you. We hope the coming weeks and months, get better for you. And just sorry that anything like that has to happen in this world.
And I got one last message. Rest in peace to the memory of the lead singer for the D-Generation X theme
That's
song.
right.
That's cool.
Good work. Act 2 Fly. So, thank you again, everybody, for Alo, Aaron Lloyd, for 2012's Mr. Sexy Punakana, Joe Rottermill,
That's gorgeous.
Act 2 Fly, Eric Trimbicki. I'm Ron Pashery. We will see you next week.
That's how we do. We both drop at the same time. That's just.
How long was that?